As a beginner's guide to asphalt roofs, it's important that we get first into a little bit of terminology and some of the things that are discussed about it or talked about when you're doing it, and then we'll get into some of the techniques that are going to be important in part of our project. So, often you'll hear talked about our roofing squares. A roofing square is 100 square feet of roof, which is essentially 3 bundles of asphalt shingles. We are using the 3-tab asphalt shingles. They have the 3, 1, 2, 3 across the front with the little exposed part. And then you're going to see along the top that's hidden, that isn't part of the exposure, is going to be a couple of tabs that allow you to align your roofing shingles. Also, you're going to see a strip of sort of tar along the top. What the strip serves for is as you overlap your shingles, that tar will then melt in the heat and create one big system so that the shingles will bond to each other. The part of the shingles that will be showing all across the row is called exposure. Now, we're going to move along. You don't really call it a row. It's called a course. So you have a course of shingles or a course of brick. It isn't always going to be called a row, right? Before you go putting the shingles on, there's a couple of things you have to do. You're going to install a metal piece all around the roof on the edges called a drip edge. What that does is it allows the water to run off and creates a connection between the soffit and fascia system. On top of the drip edge, you're going to install a ice and water shield. What that does is it adds another layer of protection from buildup. As the snow or ice melts on your roof, it's going to potentially get under the shingles, and we want to prevent that. Or in an area where your eaves trough fills up. A lot of people don't empty their eaves trough. The eaves trough will fill up with water or debris, and then it will start to form ice, and that could get under the shingles. The layer of ice and water shield and the drip edge helps protect your roof from any damage happening. Now, the drip edge, the ice and water shield, when you're installing asphalt shingles, there's a minimum slope you need for the roof so that the water and the ice and anything melting or all the debris runs off. So the minimum slope you're going to need is a 412. That's because you don't want anything sitting on it too long. That allows for more runoff. Now, when we start installing the shingles, the starter course is going to be installed upside down, right? So you don't want the tabs showing. You want them flipped around, and you're going to install the first row upside down. That way, when you install the other row on top of it, the space between the tabs is protected. If you do not put that first course underneath upside down, now you're going to have an exposed area between the tabs that's going to expose the ice and water shield, that's going to expose more sitting snow or melting snow or water to get under the shingles potentially. And we want to avoid that. You're going to run your shingles all the way up. You're going to cut them with a hook blade and a knife. And as you get to the top, you're going to install what's called a ridge cap. That's where you take the 3-tab shingles and you turn them into single tabs and you finish your roof. That's all we got for now. I hope that helps. Thanks.